Once you've painted and varnished your shield, you'll then need to attach a leather rim. This is made of a strip of leather approximately 3 inches wide, and if you cut the right way down the length of the hide, it can be done out of 2 strips of leather. Otherwise, use more as necessary. When you have with however many strips of leather you found to need, which measure beforehand, then take the leather and, to ensure it moulds correctly to the edge of the shield, place in a bucket of water and soak it for 10 minutes. We'll want to immerse the leather fully and make sure that it will stay immersed for the full time to ensure that it is properly soaked before use. Once you've put the leather in to soak for 10 minutes, you'll need to remove the excess canvas, as this will otherwise become trapped under the rim and in many cases will protrude from the rim. To do this, simply take a knife or a pair of scissors and, leaving a small bit of excess, perhaps half an inch, carefully cut round the shield. Once you've cut off all the excess, now it's time to attach the first strip of leather. You'll want to start from the bottom up, as this means when the 2 strips overlap, then rather than getting a gutter, you'll get an overhang, which is better for taking blows without damaging the leather, and, as with varnish, if it does rain, it will slightly help the shield in the wet weather. So lean the shield up here for a moment. Take 1 strip of leather out of your water and just gently shake off any excess, just in a clear space. And now find approximately the middle of your strip of leather. Lay the leather over the top of the shield and pull hard to start stretching it out. Now it's time to start putting the tacks in to hold the leather firmly to the shield. So I've made sure that I've got approximately the same amount of leather folded down each side of the shield. And I'm starting in the middle of the strip to hold it firmly. I've placed the shield securely on the anvil, being sure the edge of the anvil will not be cutting into the painted surface. Shake out a few tacks, about just slightly under a finger's width from the edge. Very carefully start tapping in a tack, and now try and get the tack to go in as vertically as possible. You do not want it protruding from the leather, as this can be dangerous and may cut. If you were to get a tack that was raised slightly on one side, you could take a round-ended a ball-peen hammer with a round head, such as this one, and gently use the rounded side to tap the edge of that tack just flat again, just to make sure it's completely safe. Now, before we move on, we'll tack the other side of the leather securely down. So stretch the leather just so it fits the shield as perfectly as it can do, about a finger's width from the edge. Put the tack in and gently tap it in. Now my leather strip is attached to the shield, so now I can really hold the leather and really stretch it around the shield. At this stage, it can be helpful to have someone else to hold the shield for you. Otherwise, you can brace the shield against yourself and the floor and simply pull. Before you tack along the length, you'll now want to make sure that you've held all the tension, otherwise you may lose it. And so, place the shield on the anvil again, place the tack into the leather, drawing about a finger's width from the edge, keeping the same amount of excess on each side of the shield. Take the hammer and hammer the tack in. Now go back to the other side. And do the same. Now you're ready to start tacking along the length of the leather. It's important to make sure that, as well as the leather being stretched lengthways, it's stretched widthways so that there's no bubbles or lumpiness around the edge of the shield. It should fit the wood as tightly as possible. This is also why we've soaked the leather, as this makes it more stretchy, and as it dries it will shrink slightly to fit the shield. We want to space the tacks approximately 2 finger widths away from each other, or just slightly closer. If, say, you were to hammer in a tack and you discovered that you put it in awfully wonky, or it started to lean as you were hammering it in, then take the claw side of a hammer and remove it, replace the tack, and hammer it in again. Make sure that you do check that you have got about the right amount of leather on each side of the shield, as it can be easy to go wrong, and once you've gone wrong it's then very irritating to take it back out and try again. Once you've done one side of the shield, it's now time to start on the front. So simply flip over the shield, place it back on the anvil, and off you go again. It can be tempting, as you place more tacks in, to go, oh, I can space them a little bit further apart. It's very important to avoid this, as otherwise eventually you get to gaps like this, and gradually going up to almost twice as wide as you should be going. And it's very important that the gap you have here is exactly the same as the gap up here. So remember, about 2 finger space apart, about 1 centimetre from the edge of the shield, make sure that the lever's really nice and stretched so it follows that edge perfectly and you can't press it in at all. Once you've attached one side of the shield rim, it's time to repeat the same process on the other side. So once again, press the shield and stretch the lever nice and taut, as tight as you can, and then gripping the lever firmly to the shield, place the shield on the anvil, take a tack, and hammer it in to keep the lever in place. That one's gone slightly wonky, so I'm going to take the round side of my hammer and I just gently going to blunt off the corner. Then I'm going to flip the shield, make sure again that the lever is stretched as nice and taut as I can. There's no air bubble around the edge of the shield. Place it on the anvil, take a tack, and now I am ready to start working up this side as I did before. At the point of the shield, the lever can bunch up slightly. To deal with this, find a nice even point as close to the exact bottom as you can and simply make an incision in the lever, being careful not to damage the paintwork. Flatten one side and then flatten the other so that it folds over the top. Take a tack and begin to hammer it through both pieces of leather. If you need to, you can readjust just to make sure it's as flat as possible. And as you hammer the tack in, the lever will flatten out. And so now there is no lumpiness around the bottom of the shield. If you have any slightly further up, later we will be trimming the lever once it has dried to create a nice even line along the edge of the shield. Once you have the lower half of the rim done, you now need to attach the upper section. So now, take your second strip of leather, once again shake off any excess water, and now this bit will want to be cut to length. So find the end, it's nice and flat. If that end was wobbly or had a slight tassel as it was cut straight from the hide, then I would want to cut that off nicely. Gently just lay it round, find how much leather you need. An overlap of 1.5 to 2 inches is about right. So I want to cut it off there. So I'm just take my craft knife and carefully cut the leather. Then the excess can be put back into soak if you're doing another run of shields, and then that can be used as the top piece for another shield. And now, take the strip of leather, it's quite short, so I'll start by tacking one end. So I've made sure I've got my overlap nicely. I'm going to sit on the anvil, press the tack in, ensuring that I'm not about to try and hammer a tack through the tack that's underneath. And tap in a couple of tacks on this side just to secure the lever. Flip the shield, wrap the lever around, making sure that particularly here there is no gap. Place the shield back on the anvil. Just add a couple of tacks to secure it. And now once again, you'll want to press the shield and really stretch the lever round so that it will nicely fit snugly against the rim. It is important to make sure that you have enough tacks with you to do the whole rim of the shield in one go, as the lever cannot be allowed to dry before you've completed the task. I am using 16mm tacks, which can be found in shops like B&Q most easily, and I am using leather that is veg tan and between 2 and 3mm thick.